So kind of as a part two of this question, I wanted to do a debt to equity ratio one. So kind of in part one, we figured out that their net worth is going to be $20,000. And now here's your kind of like part two. So Sam now wants to get a new computer. The new computer, top of the line, whatever, it's going to cost $7,000, everything said and done. Now, he doesn't have $7,000 just kind of sitting around in cash. So he's going to need to go to the bank and take a loan for it. Will the bank give him the money? So this now becomes into a debt to equity ratio. This is not a GDSR question because we're not talking about a mortgage. They already really have that. What we're talking about is, can Sam afford to take on new amounts of debt in terms of, getting something else? So this is separate from net worth. This is separate from GDSR because we're not asking for a mortgage. But this is now, can we actually take on more debt? And then one of the values that the banks look at is what your debt to equity ratio is. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Now, the debt to equity ratio, you'll have the formula again. It's on the beginning of our booklet. But our D to E ratio, and again, this is a ratio, so we're gonna times it by 100 to get to a percentage afterwards. But the D to E ratio is going to be the total liabilities, which conveniently we have already calculated, but we haven't calculated this total part because he wants to take on a new one, minus the mortgage, divided by, and it's going to be the net worth. So we can kind of take out the mortgage from this picture because mortgage kind of has their own type of thing called the GDSR. We already calculated that. So we're going to kind of see this now. So total liabilities. Well, we had the liabilities from before, and if I scroll up, it was equal to $230,000. Now, the total liabilities in this case, we will add the potential $7,000 that he wants to add on. So I'm just going to say add to liabilities from before. Add to liabilities from before. So in this case, his total liabilities, now including the potential loan that he's going to get, is not going to be $230,000. It would be $237,000. Now we're going to take away the mortgage from this. So we're going to take away the mortgage of $210,000 because again, mortgages, they kind of have their own separate equation. That's a GDSR, so we don't really care too much about that. Now, the net worth in this case. So the net worth here is still going to be $20,000 assets minus liabilities, except this time, it's not going to be $20,000. We have to change our liabilities a little bit here. In this case, since he's going to add in an extra $7,000 here in terms of the loan, right? He's going to need to recalculate the net worth. So in this case, net worth is going to be equal to the assets, which is still going to be the $250,000, and then we're going to minus that from our new total liabilities, which is going to be our $237,000. Okay, so now we gotta get to put this into a nice set of brackets. We already have what we're going to do on the top here. So our D to E ratio, our debt to equity ratio, with our new total liabilities and our new net worth, which is just slightly tweaked from the other one, we're going to have this as our equation. And we're going to have to analyze it afterwards. All divided by $250,000 minus. And we can actually put this into our calculator all in one go. And that's what I think I'll do here. So I'll put some new brackets around this, new brackets around that. Again, our net worth has changed just because he is anticipating putting on more of a liability towards it. So it's not the exact same as before, but these questions are very, very closely related. So let's go ahead and let's put in some brackets. $237,000 minus $210,000. We're going to divide this by $250,000, subtract $237,000. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to multiply that by 100. There we go. Okay. Equals 207.69%. Okay, so let's kind of read what this number means. So what this means is that his debt, taking away the house, right? His debt is 207% more than what he's going to actually have as net worth. So that if he needed to, let's say, liquefy his assets so he can pay off his loan, his debt is going to be 207% greater than that. The magic number in this is 50. Magic number for your debt to equity ratio is 50. So the bank is never going to give you a loan if your debt to equity ratio, including that potential loan that you're going to get, would be 50 or above. So if your debt to equity ratio is greater than or equal to 50%, bank's not going to give you money. Bank will not approve the loan. So in this case, his debt to equity ratio with that extra $7,000 loan that he wants to take out, that's going to be well beyond what the bank is willing to basically take a risk on, and they're not going to give him a loan for $7,000 because his net worth won't be able to support that when we take his house out of the picture. So kind of an interesting little example with net worth first, but then kind of changing that net worth and then saying, could I take on more debt in the terms of $7,000 if this was my net worth? And in this answer, it is a total no way. You are way over your head if you take that kind of a loan out because your debt is way more than how much equity or how much kind of like total asset value you have, minus your house, of course. And that would be the end of this one.